One of the weirdest, bizarre happenings with the DJI Mini 4 I've ever known. It's totally confused me. Let's do this. So hello and welcome once again to the channel on this very fine day at the moment here in the UK, although we all forecast some heavy storms and heavy rain over the next couple of days, up to 80 mile an hour gusts of wind. Anyway, that's another story. So what's today's video all about? It's all about the Mini 4 Pro since the last update and before the last update as well. Something that I latched onto, a good friend of mine, Kevin from Where the Roberts, he reached out to me. He put a video out last week about a gimbal error on the rocket where certain people's gimbals was lifted up on its return back after the rocket maneuver, and that's what today's video is all about. We had a conversation about it. He was using an old firmware, as you can see on this little clip just here. He was using the old firmware, and I made a comment on his video saying that I would test it for him to see if there was any difference between the latest update and the firmware that he was using. And as you can see in this first little test, it worked absolutely fine. So this is the test that I did on the day of the update when I spoke to Kevin about his issue. I have speeded it up. As you can see, that's a rocket at 80 feet. Gimbal 2 axis reached movement, which is quite normal. And then it just returns, as you can see, no problem whatsoever. We had a conversation about it and we both agreed that maybe if he updated the firmware, it would be absolutely fine. However, I saw another couple of videos and some comments on forums about this issue, and I just had to go out and test it again. So let's have a quick look in the video what the findings were, and it's totally bizarre. So okay, just a short test. I'm going to do two tests with this supposed gimbal error. I'm going to do a rocket with the car, and then I'm going to do a rocket with me. Do nicely. Right, okay, let's click start.
3, 2, 1.
So apparently on the videos that I've watched, once it's returning, the gimbal seems to point upwards. Now I did try this the other day and it didn't have a problem, but I just thought I'd come out and test it once again just to see if there's any difference. As you can see, that's worked absolutely fine. So let's see what happens when it returns back down. And so far so good. So that was absolutely perfect. Right, I'm going to get out the car and I'm going to put the subject on me and we'll try again. As you can see, that focus track is picking me up and it's picking the car up as well. So we'll just tap on me, because that was another issue that folks said that they was having. Right, we'll do exactly the same test.
3, 2, 1.
Click start. Almost there. Obviously it just lost me, but it's still got a locator pin. That's another instance as well. So there we go, look, as you can see, that's replicated the problem with me. So I'm going to try that again. Bring it a little bit further down this time. Let's try it at a shorter altitude. Okay, let's give that a go. That's really interesting. That's bizarre. Okay, right. I'm going to do one more with the car. Just to try it out once again. Right.
3, 2, 1.
Let's give that one a go. Right. One more go with me.
1.
So I think I seem to find the issue here. It's when the gimbal seems to be reaching its limit. So it's rather weird, isn't it? So on my way back home from that test, I had a thought to myself, I wonder whether I did a gimbal calibration, IMU calibration, whether it would make any difference. And that's exactly what I did. I came home, did the calibration, put it up outside in the back garden, and you can see in this clip just here, it worked absolutely fine. So this test was after the calibration, and I've set it to 80 feet, and as you can see, it rises absolutely fine. No problems whatsoever. It reaches its limit on the movement, and then it's completed, and now it's returning. As you can see, this works absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. I did do another test, but I'm not going to show you that one because it was exactly the same. I did 2 tests with it, one at 80 feet and one at 100 feet, and it worked absolutely fine. So I thought, that's probably solved it. So you know me, it got the better of me, and I had to go out again and test it in the same location where it failed previously. So let's have a quick look at that test. Right, round 2. Let's test it again. So as you saw in the video, I've just been home and I recalibrated the gimbal. Not that it should make any difference, but I'm just going to try back on location. Another rocket. Just select me. Right, we're going to try 80 feet first.
3, 2, 1.
And see what it does. This is really bizarre. Right, so it's returning. That's absolutely madness. I've just done 2 tests at home, and it worked perfect. And I've come here and it's not worked again. How is that even possible? Other than location, I can't see that having any effect either. Right, let's try a little bit higher.
3, 2, 1.
I've just done a gimbal calibration, as I said, and it's made no difference whatsoever. Not that I thought it would, but I have seen comments on forums saying that after an update you should do a gimbal calibration, but no. It started to lift up already, look. That's madness. Now, I really have no idea why it's doing this. So it works from home, it works on me doing a rocket at home, both at both altitudes at 80 feet, 120 feet, 160 feet, whatever it was. But as soon as I went back out in the field, it works on the car, no problem whatsoever. But as soon as I do it on me out in the field, it gives me that gimbal error. And I have no idea why this is happening. This is quite bizarre. I've never known this to happen before, where it can work in one place and not in the other. Yeah, on signal issues and things like that, I can sort of take that on board. You know, you might have interference around you and you lose signal with your drone, but an autonomous maneuver like that is a little bit odd. And this is one of the things I want to hark back onto on my last video, where DJI brought out a update for the Mini 4 Pro, and it was the fix some known issues. And this is what I was trying to say, that sometimes issues can affect different people in different ways. And I'd like you guys out there to let me know down in the comments if you've had this problem with your gimbal, whether it's lifting up on the return from the rocket or not, or whether you had it before the update and has this update fixed it. Now, one of the things I'd like to just stress on this is I don't normally use autonomous modes. Yes, okay, I do a drone on the flight test from updates, as you saw in my last video. But rockets and helixes and things like that, I don't tend to use. I don't tend to use the quick shots. I like to use Spotlight, and I do like to fly manually when I can. But I would just be interested to know what you guys think about it. Do you think it's an intermittent fault? Do you think it's a more broader fault, and that a lot of people are suffering with this? Because it would be interested to see if DJI know about it and whether they're going to put it right. It's just very odd, very weird, totally bizarre. I have no idea why it's doing it, or why it's doing it on only certain occasions, in a certain venue, if you like. As you saw, it worked absolutely fine. Both times at home, when I had a word with Kevin earlier, says, no, it's absolutely fine. It's working fine. And maybe if you update your Mini 4, it will work fine, as mine's done. And then as soon as I go out today and do that test, it proves me wrong, that it's not absolutely fine. Like I say, it works fine on the cars, but when it looks at me and does a rocket, certainly out on location, it just failed. It just lifted that gimbal up, and I have no idea what it is. So there we go. That wraps the video up. I hope you found it useful or intriguing, if you like. Let's put it that way. If you did, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up, and let's hope we can get this problem ironed out with DJI. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong, and all the rest of it that goes with it. I'm sure you know me by now. And you might like to watch those couple of videos I've chosen for you over there. And if you do, I shall see you over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.